2025 is only hours away, and while a lot of people are speculating on the price of certain altcoins, what are they going to get to, what's the potential, the high, the low, I'm going to share with three altcoins what I believe will be the low and the high for them in 2025. We're going to talk today about Avalanche, Solana, and Ethereum, and why Ethereum might be the biggest gainer of these three, at least in Q1 of next year. So like the video and let's jump in. So you get a lot of people that throw price predictions out there, right? I had a dream and someone came to me and told me that Ethereum was going to go to $50,000. Well, in this video, with the predictions I'm going to give you, it's all about probabilities and it's all about dominance. We figure the market cap of cryptocurrency is going to get anywhere between $8 to $12 trillion with everything going on, which we've talked about plenty of times on our live show. But we're going to take that number right down the middle at $10 trillion. Then what I did is I took a look at, well, what is the current dominance of these three altcoins, and what do I think it can get to on the low side and on the high side? And that is how I did the math, divided into the amount of the market cap, divide that number into the total supply that is currently circulating, which gave me a number down to the exact penny, which is what I'm going to be sharing with you today. So first, let's start with Avalanche. Now, Avalanche's current dominance, as you can see here from TradingView, is sitting at just under 0.5%, so 0.46%. Now, what is the low that I believe Avalanche can get to? Let's just say, I still believe on the low side, if things fail, not necessarily fail, but don't progress as much as we believe they will in 2025 for Avalanche, I still think we're going to see a little bit of an uptick in dominance from the AVAX token for the entirety of the cryptocurrency market. So my low-end target for AVAX is going from 0.46% dominance to 0.65% dominance, which gives it a token price of $158.53. Now, what are some potential catalysts or reasons why Avalanche only goes up by that much in dominance? Well, one of them, let's say the gaming narrative never takes off, right? Off the Grid was a hit. The marketplace goes live. No one really uses it. Or maybe a game like Grand Theft Auto or a large video game studio that decides not to leverage blockchain just blows up. It kind of leaves everything in the dust. Gaming never takes off. We're betting on gaming being a huge catalyst for Avalanche's price run in 2025. And let's just say that never happens. That could be one reason why. The other reason why, the new AVAX 9000 upgrade that's supposed to make it easier, cheaper, and more developer-friendly to build layer ones and subnets on the network. Let's say that just doesn't bring anyone in. No one builds on it. People aren't enticed by it. Like, yeah, it's pretty cool, but I'm just going to go build my own blockchain, or I'm going to go build on Ethereum, or I'm going to go build on Solana. That could be a potential drawdown or a drawback to why Avalanche only gains that much in the bull market. And let's just say RWA is another big narrative. The two big narratives for me are going to be gaming and RWA. And the RWA, Avalanche just falls outside the top 10. Outside the top 15. It's overshadowed by the likes of Ethereum, by the likes of Ondo, maybe by the likes of something like Solana or Casper or Cardano. Those could be the potential reasons why Avalanche only gets to $158.53. Now, I might add, I say only, but that's still a 5x from here. So that is my low-end target. Now, my high-end target is the dominance goes almost 10x's. Goes from, well, it does 10x. Goes from 0.46 now till around 5% dominance. I know that sounds crazy. That's more than what Solana is. That's more than what XRP is right now. But hear me out here. That price, that dominance would put a price of one AVAX token at $1,219.51. What are some of the big catalysts that could potentially take Avalanche to that 5% dominance? Well, one is the gaming. All right, I'm going to go back to what I said could be the potential hindrance. Now is going to be a catalyst. Let's say they get 1 to 3 more off-the-grid type games. Games that take the average gamer, these large gaming streamers, they do the same thing they did with Off the Grid. They do it with these 3 new games. Could it be something that's already in their catalog? You take a look here on the Gaming on AVAX website. These are some of the games that are currently on Avalanche. Could it be DeFi Kingdoms? Could it be, and I'm going to scroll a little bit further down here, could it be something like Providence? Could it be, again, DeFi Kingdoms? Could it be Shrapnel? Or could it be a game that hasn't really launched yet? We saw the success of Off the Grid. I believe we're going to continue to see the success of off the grid. And that's going to entice more and more people to integrate blockchain somehow with their gaming. And where else are they going to go build? Sure, you have other options. Sure, you have Solana. Sure, you have Ethereum. But you have a case study here that's been the best period in off the grid. So chances are it's going to be built on Avalanche. We need 1 to 3 more of the off the grid style games. Also, states and governments decide to build on Avalanche. This was headline news that not a lot of people got excited about. I don't understand why. This is pretty big, right? California is I believe the second largest economy in the United States. It ranks in the top 10 globally, right? If you remove California from the United States, and if it was a country, it'd rank in the top 10. The California DMV, they tokenized 42 million car titles on the Avalanche networks. We need to see more of this in 2025 for Avalanche. This plays into their RWA narrative. Another one is their L1 ecosystem completely booms. And we know it's faster, cheaper, and more developer friendly to build a layer 1 on Avalanche, or you can just do what people have always been doing, is just build a subnet and leverage the Avalanche network. I think those are all reasons and catalysts that could potentially push AVAX's dominance up to 5%, giving it a $1,219 price. Let's move on from Avalanche. The next one I'm going to talk about, there's been a lot of back and forth about this token, right? It's remained in the top 5. It got surpassed by XRP. A lot of people are saying it's only for meme coin trading and the network always goes down. This one is Solana. And a lot of people ask me, is there still a lot of potential for Solana in 2025? Well, I'm going to give you, again, the same thing, the low, the high. Keeping the $10 trillion market cap level, we're looking at current dominance for Solana. I'll show you here on CoinMarketCap, or excuse me, on TradingView, is around 3%, 2.92% market cap or dominance for Solana. Now, my low-end target for Solana is the dominance actually drops a little bit from 2.92 to 2%, which would give it a price of $416.67 for one SOL token. Now, that's still a 2x from here, but obviously, with other projects like Virtual's Protocol, BitTensor, a bunch of them, really looking at 10, 20x in 2025. If you're sitting there waiting for a 2x, yes, that is great money, but let's just face it, you're probably going to be kicking yourself in the butt and saying, damn, I wish I'd have at least moved some of that money into something that's going to run a lot harder. But still, $416.67. Now, what could be some reasons why the dominance dips? We know that 75 to 90% of all volume in trading on Solana is from meme coins. Let's just say that volume in meme coins overall drops by, let's say, 50% or more. I think that can harm the network as far as activity, transactions, fees being paid, which is what really moves the price of the token as the way Solana's tokenomics are set up. Another reason could be that FireDancer completely fails. This is a validator that a lot of people are excited about that theoretically could do 1 million TPS and more, breaks down the barriers to bring nodes and validators online. And so that if that completely fails, it could be one of the reasons why Solana's dominance slips to 2%. And the last one, network issues. Hasn't had any big outages. I don't think it has had one outage in the last year. It was just a slew of outages, one-day outages, 13-hour outages. A lot of people are like, hey, can we even build on this thing? Is this thing reliable? If that happens again or continues to happen, forget about institutions coming online. Forget about stablecoin at a large mass. I think that could be a potential reason why this thing moves down to 2%. So that's my low end. Now, my high end is a 6% dominance for Solana. So around a 2x from where it is today, which would give it a price of $1,250 per SOL token. Now, of course, this is on the very, very high side. Probabilities of this happening, if I were to put a number, I would probably be around 20 to 25%. Now, what are some of the catalysts that could potentially push Solana to $1,250? I think the big one here is going to be an ETF, right? Solana has always been dubbed the VC coin, venture capital investors, retail. Like it's got the retail side on DeFi, but as far as people holding the token whales, it's been labeled a VC coin. Some look at that as a good thing. Some look at that as a bad thing. I think that would need to continue via an ETF. I think that could push it up to 6%. Stable coins at mass scale. We know Visa came out and did a study. This was about a year and a half, 2 years ago, of how stable coins are so fast, cheap, and secure on Solana. If that thing can take off, I think that could push it. And of course, we talk about FireDancer. It's all going to come off of the back of FireDancer, right? Supposed to secure the network, bringing that high throughput without shutting the network down. If FireDancer comes in, it's a massive success. We get 1 million true transactions per second, not voting, not BS, true transactions per second. I think that could be a big catalyst. And something Solana's been doing that I need to see it continue to do in 2025 is build the best UI and UX dApps for retail in 2025. Jupiter, excellent example. Backpack Wallet, excellent example. Phantom, excellent. We need more of that for 2025. If we can continue to capture retail and we can bring in institutions via stable coins, via an ETF, I think that can push Solana's market cap, dominance up to that 6%, giving it $1,215. Now, $1,250. Now, the last one is one that a lot of people are unsure about. This thing hasn't moved. Bitcoin moved. Solana's had its day. XRP's had its day. Ethereum's kind of fallen flat. Everyone was expecting the ETF to go live, billions of dollars to come in, each price to skyrocket to $15,000, $20,000, and that hasn't really happened yet. On top of all the competition that's come into play, including the ones I just mentioned, Solana and Avalanche. Well, what is the potential of Ethereum in 2025? Let's talk about it. So the current dominance of ETH from a high of around 22% came all the way down, sitting right now at 12.62%. Now, 10 trillion market cap overall. My low end for ETH is it loses another 30% in dominance and goes down to 8%, which would give it a price per ETH token $6,639. Now, what are some of the reasons why ETH could underperform so massively compared to the rest of the markets in 2025? One of them, competitors continue to gain ground. What ETH was the first smart contract platform back in 2013, 2014, really had a monopoly until the likes of Solana and Avalanche and Cardano and IC. All these tokens showed up. It took some dominance away. If that continues to happen, or if Ethereum falls behind on their developer or their roadmaps, I think that could be a potential reason why this thing goes down from 12.6 to 8%. The other one is Wall Street simply says, you know what, we got the ETH ETF product. We're not really interested in that. Now we have Solana. Now we have Avalanche. Now we have XRP. Now we have XLM. Now we have a basket of cryptocurrency ETF. And they say, you know what, we're going to take some money out of the ETH ETF. Not only are we not going to put money in, we're going to take money out and put it elsewhere. I think that could be a contributing factor. And then just it remains slow, clunky. We know what Uniswap is doing. They're creating their Uni chain. It's going to use their own token for gas. I think that could be potentially detrimental for the Ethereum network. So with that being said, those could all be contributing factors to ETH only getting to 8% dominance, $6,639. Now, what is the high side? My high side target is 25% dominance for Ethereum, which would give it a price of $20,746.88. Now, what needs to happen for this to come true? Well, one, I think the ETF has a 10x. From where it's at today in 2025, at some point, it's got a 10x. Got to start seeing money flowing in, less money flowing out, people seeing the value, the BlackRock effect. Speaking of BlackRock, we had this. This was posted by Forbes. This was back on March 21st of 2024. So I want to share the headline here with you. And there's one thing I highlighted in this article here. BlackRock's $10 trillion tokenization vision, the future of real world assets. And again, this article here I'm showing is from Forbes. In March of 2024, BlackRock announced the launch of its first tokenized fund issued on an Ethereum blockchain, the BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund. This is a quote from Robert Michnick, who's the BlackRock's head of digital assets. Quote, "This is the latest progression of our digital asset strategy. We are focused on developing solutions in the digital asset space that help solve real-world problems for our clients. We need to see more of that." We know BlackRock is creating their own New York Stock Exchange down in Texas. It's going to leverage blockchain and cryptocurrency. If that gets built on Ethereum, or Ethereum is leveraged in some way, which I believe it will, I think that could be a big catalyst to ETH getting to that 25% dominance. And honestly, it's going to, and I mean this, it's going to come down to enterprises and institutions. Whether it's the ETF, whether it's building, whether it's RWAs, stable coins, all of that needs to flow in. ETH needs to go. It's already kind of starting from that retail DeFi chain to that institution DeFi chain, that yield chain, that stable coin chain, that RWA chain, that ETF chain. That's what ETH needs to get to that 25% dominance. Again, that would put it at $20,746.88. I am curious, you watching, out of the 3 tokens I talked about, the 3 coins I talked about in this video, and the 2 price predictions I gave on each one, which one would you say is the most likely to happen? Let me know in the comment section. Also, come check out our live show Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and have an amazing 2025. Come follow us. And you know what? Usually I stop the video here, but I'm going to tell you right now, 2025, there's going to be life-changing money being made. And I'm telling you right now, especially if you are a big fan of artificial intelligence and AI agents and obviously crypto, you're going to want to tune into our channel. We're going to help you make the most money you have ever made in 2025. Mark it down on your calendar. Come join us for a live show. Have a great New Year. We'll see you next time. Peace.